So I didn't come here today with the intention of making a YouTube video. I didn't even plan to come to this property today. It was a last minute addition to my schedule. I've got my girl here today. She's doing good. We have gone through a couple times of lots of tears, and ultimately she just wanted to eat some more. So I took care of her in the car for a while before I came in here, and now she's good and settled. I just finished photographing this house, so I'm going to load her back in the car. We're gonna hope she sleeps okay, but thankfully the rest of the day is dedicated to editing and computer stuff. So she doesn't have to worry about being anything but herself, and we can relax a little bit. I really wish I brought my microphone, or I could also run out to my car and get the mic out of my bag, but that's not happening. No. People may see me and that would be uncomfortable. But I thought it would be fun to share with you on site how I photograph a primary bathroom. This is your pretty standard primary bathroom. I've had much bigger ones, but this one's pretty straightforward. So I thought it would be easy to show you how I photograph them. So here we go. Hey there, I am on location, and so it's very echoey in here, but I wanted to share with you guys how I photograph bathrooms. And it's pretty straightforward, but there are a few key details I want to point out. The first is when I am photographing a bathroom, normally it's really hard to get the whole room because it's pretty tight. Even though I'm shooting here on 16 millimeters, it's not always possible to get the entire room. So I have some minimum requirements. One of them is the doorway. So I'm gonna try my best not to get the doorway or the door in the picture because that is impeding on an already small space, so let's just cut that out if we can. The second thing is I want to make sure that I can see the vanity and the mirror, and hopefully, if possible, the toilet or the shower in the same photo. This is because, again, it's already a small photo in a small room, and if possible, I'd like to limit it to one photo so that the listing doesn't have to be muddied up with extra images if that's not necessary. So I try to get a little reflection of the shower in the mirrors whenever possible, or the toilet, just depending on the layout of the bathroom. Now this is the primary bath, and so in here I did shoot in going this way, but then I also turned around and shot that way. So that would be my third tip for you when it comes to photographing bathrooms in real estate. See if you can get the other angle, because in this case, shooting this way showed the majority of the bathroom, but when I turned around and shot the other way, I think it was a much more dynamic photo. It had really great leading lines, and it showed you the primary bedroom as well as the primary bath. Just a few tips. How great is this bathroom though? I love it. This is a new construction and it smells amazing in here. Not like a bathroom normally smells, you know, not as amazing. It smells like fresh cedar, paint. It's wonderful. So this room in the primary closet is really intense. It's a heavy metal door. I don't know if you can tell. But I wonder if this room is designed to be a tornado shelter, which is not unheard of here in Kansas. I wanted to share 5 Q&A questions you might have about photographing a bathroom in real estate photography, because they are tight spaces, and I feel like some questions would naturally arise. So the first is, how much do you capture of the room? And the answer is as much as you possibly can. And the example I showed you, I obviously got 2 angles, but most bathrooms I just get 1 angle. My hope is that I can always get every part of the bathroom. I want to show that there is a sink, a toilet, and a shower. That's my bare minimum requirement. As with a lot of things in real estate photography, there is mixed lighting. So what do you do with the mixed lighting? I always turn the lights on. I used to use flash, I don't anymore. I will always turn on the lights in the bathroom, and if there's a tiny window, then I will allow that light to come in. The goal with the exposure is just to get it in the middle of the road, even though I do HDR exposures and I get 3 exposures with every photo that I take for real estate photography. I try to get a variety so that I can expose for the window, the ambient light, and the natural exposure, as well as the lighting that's in the room. Depending on the window, if it's frosted and you can't see the detail outside, I don't really worry about it. If you can see an outside view or something, then I will edit it so that you can see that. With mixed lighting, there is mixed colors happening. So your window is going to bring in maybe a bluer light, and your light bulb inside is going to bring in a warmer light. So that might mean that I have to go into the color mixer panel in Lightroom and adjust a few things to make everything even or make everything just to look a little bit more neutral. But it's pretty straightforward. I think one of the hardest questions is, with it being a small room, where do you draw the line? What do you exclude? What do you make sure you include? So a little bit earlier I said I want to make sure I have the toilet, the sink, and the shower if I can. Not every bathroom allows you to do that, but I try my best to get as little of the door as possible. And oftentimes I find myself struggling to get the overhead lighting, not the top overhead lighting like can lights, but the fixtures that are typically above a mirror on the wall, so like sconces, because they're a little bit higher. I do struggle to get those. My goal is to at least get a little bit of them in the frame if I can, just so that people get the idea of the style that's already in the house. I feel like bathroom fixtures are something where people might have chosen something kind of tacky or budget centric, and so it might not be super cute. So as a potential buyer, I would like to know, like, do I have to change the sconces? Do they look terrible? So I try to include them if I can. When it comes to bathroom styling, I am not a stylist, I am not a stager, but there are a few things that I prefer to see. One of those is the toilet lid down. I'd asked a realtor that. I'm like, does it matter? Should the toilet lid be up or down? And he's like, down always. And then I got to thinking about it, like, why was that even a question to me? I don't want to look inside of the toilet bowl. Like, even if it's clean, I think it's ideal that you are not looking inside the toilet bowl. So toilet lid down. If the hand towel is a hot mess, we're going to straighten that up. And ideally, the counter would have just like a soap bottle on it. I know a lot of people have different things on their vanities in their bathrooms or around their bathroom sink, but for selling purposes, the more you can show up that countertop, the better, because it lets a person dream that they can put their own crap all over that countertop. So for selling purposes, I would recommend hiding everything, and for photography, it just looks a lot better. I feel like with styling and staging, less is more, less is best. So yeah. And here's a question you're not asking, but I'm going to tell you the answer to it anyway, which is, do you use bathrooms at clients' homes? Awkward, but I'm going to answer it because I want to. And the answer is sometimes in emergencies. I really don't like using clients' bathrooms, but when nature calls and a girl's got to go, a girl's got to go. But normally I do try my best to ask for permission, and it's really unlikely that someone's going to be like, no, you can't use my bathroom. But my worst fear is I go to use the bathroom and they're like, oh, that toilet is out of commission. It does not work. Good luck flushing it. Whatever you put in that toilet isn't going anywhere. Like, that's my nightmare. Or just that I like deeply offend them by using their home when I was hired to be there to provide a service, which is photography. So I do sometimes use the bathrooms, but only in emergencies, and I think that's acceptable. Okay. So that's how I photograph bathrooms in real estate, and answering a few questions that you might have about that process. So hopefully that's helpful for you. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. As always, you can subscribe to my channel if you like my content. More subscribers, the merrier. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, which is just like epic. I am way low on watch hours. I've got a long ways to go till that happens, but you never know. You never know. That's something that can change overnight. So yeah, anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, and looking forward to sharing the next video with you. Bye.